Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. I have a little bit of time to edit these ones, so I thought I'd get a few more videos uploaded and scheduled on my YouTube channel. So this is a collage paper that I designed for Natalie May Scrapbooking. I do have some of these left on my website, not many. So if you're interested and you want to go and grab one, head over to artjournallove.com and you can find them over there. I'm playing in the white watercolour journal. I'm pretty sure this is the journal that Dina Wakley released a long time ago, and unfortunately it's no longer available. Natalie does sell white journals, but they don't have watercolour paper in, but I have to be honest, the paper in them is beautiful. It's a nice weighty cardstock, and it takes watercolours and acrylics really nicely. So I've cut the image down so it's going to fit nicely on my page, and I'm going to be sticking that in with some matte medium. There we go, popping that on. Nat's collage paper goes onto your journal page really nicely. It kind of melts into the paper. I can't recommend them highly enough. It's such a lovely quality of paper. And then I wanted to get some colours onto my page, so I am going to be using some acrylic paint, and the page doesn't have any gesso, so it is going to grab that paint really quickly. I'm starting off with Iris. This is quite a dry brush. As you can see, those brush strokes in the paint, that's what kind of gives that away as being a bit of a dry brush that I'm using. And I'm just going to be pulling that paint across the page and just allowing it to go where it wants to, really. I'm adding 3 areas of colour pretty much. Yeah, very rarely do I manage to leave white space on my journal pages. I often try to, but you know, it doesn't always happen that way. Then I am going in with a sapphire over the top of the iris, and I am going to do a bit of reductive stenciling. So because that's on top of the paint, it's going to work really nicely. The paint underneath the first layer was nice and dry. I'm rubbing that on with my finger. It gives a nice soft look. I really like that. And also, sometimes it's just nice to get painty hands. I'm using a damp baby wipe to just remove that colour through the stencil as well. So next I'm going in with turquoise, repeating the same process here but with a different stencil. I've grabbed a different pattern and I'm just going to lift that off through the stencil. This is such a nice way to build up a pattern on your background once you've got your first layer of colour in there, is to start building up those kind of soft patches of colour, applying the paint with your finger and lifting it through the stencil using a baby wipe or a damp cloth. It's a lovely technique and probably one of my favourites now. And then this is raspberry, so I'm going in with this colour because it's a nice contrast with the other colours. It plays nicely, it isn't going to make mud, and also I just like it. It's one of my go-to colours in that pink range, in those warm colours. And I've swapped the stencil out again, so I'm using a different stencil just to bring a bit more variety to the page. Then again, I'm going to add some dots using my fingers. They were already covered in paint, so I thought, well, why not? I've got these areas where I've removed the paint and I just had a bit of paint left over, and I just thought, I'm just going to add some dots on there using my finger. So sometimes just use the tools that you've got with you, which is your fingers, isn't it? It's get some paint on the end of your finger and dab it onto your page, and it creates a really fun and interesting pattern. And then I'm doing the same with turquoise. Must have been a bit of turquoise left over as well. And I really like how that's working. It's kind of pulling those little bits of patterns forwards a bit. So then to lift the page a little bit, I am using my favourite, all-time favourite dotty stamp. Again, there's some of these available on my website, with some white paint that I've watered down. I also sometimes use the ink from a Posca pen, the paint from a Posca pen to do this, because it is just nice and easy. And then if there's a bit left over, so a few white splatters, it's kind of got to be done. It would be rude not to, wouldn't it? Then these are some cuttable words that Nat sells as well. These are on a nice sort of cardstock, so a little bit sturdier than just paper. And I found some words that I felt worked with this page. Often when I'm choosing words, it's kind of reflecting how I'm feeling in that moment, or something that I'm wanting to be and channel, or it's just what the page is kind of saying to me in that particular moment. So I'm sticking those on using a bit of Art by Molly and sticky glue. And then I'm just going in at the end with a bit of text stamping. I love the way this looks. When I finish off my pages, I often come in with a bit of text stamping and add a little bit more interest. I don't know, there is just something I really like about adding those layers of text to pages. And then of course some black dots as well. And that's kind of how this page came together. So like I say, if you're interested in using one of these images, go and have a look at what's there on my website. There might be something that catches your eye. But yeah, playing in this small 6-inch journal is just a really easy space to work in. You can get yourself one of those white journals from Natalie May Scrapbooking too. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.